Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I am back finally with an update about the moving company. Did I get the check? Before I tell you, let's look at a poll that I did. Oh, if you're not familiar with this series, the short version is I moved and I talked about it on my YouTube channel. Moving company didn't like that. They sued me for $50,000 plus. And it kind of backfired after a period of 2.5 years of that. They ended up paying me. They have to pay me, or we had to go to trial, and I know they didn't have proof of a thing, so they ended up paying me. I can talk about all of the things that I want to talk about, except I can't use their name. All right. There is a playlist link in the description of this video about this series. Okay. I put a poll out there when we were waiting for my check to arrive, and let's see, we got 284 votes, and there was 4 choices. I asked, just curious as to what your guess is. Will I get my first check, because they are paying me in 5 monthly installments? Will I get my first check from the moving company or not? If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch this playlist. That's the playlist I'll have in this video. So option 1 was, yes, you will get the check by the due date. We have a due date, a 5-day grace period, and then after that, it's beyond the due date. So 10% said, yes, you will get the check by the due date. I really didn't think I would get it by the due date. Yes, you will get the check, but during the 5-day grace period. That got the most votes, 36%. Yes, you will get the check, but after the 5-day grace period. That got 24% of the votes. No, you will not get the check without fighting for it, 30% there. So most people thought I would get it, but during the grace period, the 5-day grace period. Then next is... they thought I won't get the check at all unless I fight for it. And then next was you'll get it, but after the 5-day grace. And then only 10% said that I would get it before the due date. So what happened is I did get the check during the 5-day grace period. So everybody who voted for that was right. 36% of the people guessed that option. I did not believe I would get it before the due date. I sort of believed I wouldn't get it at all, but I got it. And they didn't leave any little note like, we're sorry, Darlene. I would like to send them a thank you card and say, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed sending me this money. That would be good, right? Because I do have to remember that even though things didn't go the way I wanted them to go, the way I wished they would go, the way I expected them to go, they are somewhat being punished. And that makes me feel good. You know, they're sending me money in 5 payments. So, you know, it's not just like one payment, you know. They have to split it up, and they will be getting it all to me. I really do think they will be. But we have 4 more checks to wait for, right? So toward the end of this month, we're in May now, 2025, I will keep you informed. And I still do want to talk about this stuff more. I've been so busy with other things, and those of you who follow me, you know right now I'm involved with water damage in my sewing room, of all things. And I'm not set back up there yet, so I can't be doing all the little things that I want to do. I don't want to set up in there and then have to move stuff when they come in for the drywall, stuff like that. But I will send you to my eBay store while I have your attention, right? Because I know most of you are going to want to see if I got the check or not. It was such a nice check to deposit. I was very pleased with that. I have stuff on eBay. Go check that out. You know, I should start a little moving company auction thing, you know, any auctions that I put up that have the moving company thing, you know, attached to it, that it would help for all that I went through for the 2.5 years, plus the year before they even sued me. So for 3.5 years, I've been involved and still am. It's still not over because now I'm waiting for checks for 5 months. And it won't be over because I'm still going to continue to talk about all this stuff. You know, I have read plenty of comments, reviews, comments, complaints. That's the word I want for this moving company and the other ones that I was involved in and other moving companies. And the stories are so sad. And, you know, the moving company I did business with, I didn't, even really have a chance to look at the reviews and stuff. The woman sounded so good to me, and if you know my story, my mother was in hospice care. We were trying to get change all the plans that we had, and now we needed to take a plane, and we needed to get the stuff moved. It was all different than what we were doing, and I don't know if I ever told the story about the other company that I called, because I called the moving company that I did business with, that I ended up with, and still wanted to check other things. Checked another one, ended up going with that one, so I thought. That was a nightmare thing. Got out of it the very next day. I did a very dumb move by going with them. And again, I was so distraught, so incredibly distraught. I don't even know how I got through any of it. And then I went back to this moving company that's now dishing out money to me. And I just wanted a way to get my mother and me to Mississippi. And, she had the truck going in that direction. It was a cancellation. It was all, That's why I say they don't have anything on me. If we would have gone to trial, they would have had nothing, not one lie. Because if they had a lie, why not take me to court and sue me for all the 50,000 plus? Because they didn't have anything. And I know this for a fact because I know I didn't lie. They think that because I kept saying their name and was telling the truth, they think that my words damaged them. But my words were true, and if there was any damage because of my words, it's because of their actions. See, I don't understand. I just think they really thought I was just going to go running away and be so scared. They know what they're doing. They haven't done this to just me. I don't know if they've ever sued anyone like they sued me. I don't think they've ever had anyone like me, tell the story, the wonderful, true story of how they moved me. And they knew that I was, probably, being heard by other people who went through this with them, other people, when they first offered me the first confidentiality agreement, which I was calling a gag order, the woman said to me at the end of that phone call that I was not to tell anyone how much they offered me, which I ended up telling, I do believe. Yes, of course I did, because I didn't accept it. Because she didn't want other people who were getting money from them to think, well, why did she get more? Or, ooh, I got more. Didn't want me to give anybody any ideas about, oh, I'll just complain and then they'll pay me too. They do this often, and I'm sure not just them. So it was their actions, and they could have easily solved all of this by saying, honestly, if they would have said, we're going to give you this, that $14.44 that they initially offered me, $1,000 for my trouble and $4.44 for this bullshit shuttle shit that I still believe was never rented for me. Those drivers picked up my shit in the U-Haul that they came here with because they had another load in that truck. They didn't unload 2 loads and move it from a big truck to a shuttle. It's just so bogus. It's so bogus. If they would have offered me that check and said, they wouldn't have even had to say it. I would have absolutely blasted it to everyone that they were nice. They, said, look, we shouldn't have been treating you this way, meaning the others who were giving me a hard time. and this is for you. And I would have told everybody this was nice. They pulled through. They're giving me some money. I can get a washer and dryer now out of this, but they didn't do that. No, they didn't do that. They don't see that kindness, or just in normal business sense, goes a long way. And I would have just as happily said the good things they did as I said the bad things they did, because they did really lousy things. They lied, and they were just bouncing me around. It was just not a good experience at all. And it still isn't, because it really did, put a damper on the past 2.5 years. It wasn't fun at all. And I hope they realize it wasn't fun for them either, and that they set out to sue me, and they're not getting a dime from me. They're paying me. I hope they've learned a lesson. I hope they have. Don't just go after people for no reason. If you don't have proof, you don't know. You don't know who you're playing with. You played with the wrong person when you played with me. I'm telling you. They didn't know that I was going to just stick with it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please go check out my eBay. The link is in the description. And I really should. It would be fun to have like some kind of an auction series or whatever. Sell things that broke during the move. I still have some boxes I've never unpacked, It's just like, okay, that says this, and, I'm just going to trust that everything in there isn't broken. But not too many boxes. But I don't know. I hope that one day I can just, make fun of all this, and we'll see. But, they have 4 more checks to send to me, and they're all equal payments. So we'll see if they're going to send the next one. I should do another poll. I'll maybe do another poll as it gets closer, then I'll let you know in the next moving company video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more soon. Bye.